Hello, and welcome. So I'm going to quickly share a few highlights on what to expect in these next few videos. I have recently picked up a 92 Acura Integra, so I'm going to break up the introduction to a series of 3 videos. This first one is going to talk about how I searched for and bought the car. The second video is going to talk about what the experience was like getting the car home. And then the third one's going to be some discussion around what it took to get it cleaned up and some future plans for it. So, of all the cars in the world, why in the world did I pick a 92 Acura Integra sedan? Well, to answer that question, you have to look way back in time. When I was 14 years old, my mom picked up a 90 sedan, 1990 GS trim, automatic red with black interior. That car really made an impression on me as a pre-licensed teenager, just in terms of its lines and its design, and I really loved that car. Fast forward 20 years later, we actually tried finding the car, can't even find the VIN to it to see if it's still on the road anymore. I tried contacting the Department of Motor Vehicles in Utah. I tried getting in touch with our State Farm agency from back in the day, and none of their records go back that far. So at that point I kind of figured there was no chance I was going to find that exact car. But anyways, over the years I tried basically accumulating one of each model in the Acura lineup from the early 1990s. So the first one I got when I was 21 years old was the Legend Coupe in 2003. In 2008, I paired it with a matching GS sedan. In 2011, I picked up the NSX. In 2015, I got the 94 Acura Vigor. And in 2016, I sealed the deal on a green 92 Integra GSR. So that basically gave me 5 of the 6 right there. And some were easier to find than others, but for the most part, I did have to travel for them. The Legend sedan, I got in touch with the owner 2004, and it took me 4 years to convince him to sell it to me, and I paid a hefty premium for it, but in hindsight, it was definitely one of the best decisions I made. So anyway, the cars, there's a definite theme here in terms of the early 90s model years, manual transmissions only, and wherever possible I like to get the highest trim of everything. So my search for the Integra really picked up speed last October. I sold my TL Type S and decided it was time to really close out the 1990s fleet, and I was shocked at how tough the Integras are to find. The GSR was probably not even as tough to find as this sedan was. For whatever reason, it seems like for every 10 Integras, 9 will be coupes or hatchbacks, and 1 will be a sedan from this generation too. I'm really not sure why. But anyway, I was looking all over the country on Craigslist, automated searches, AutoTrader, eBay, you name it, I was looking. And I also had friends helping me look around. So nothing really panned out. I ended up even considering a few rust buckets and real project cars that were heavily modified or just needed a heck of a lot of work. So it was a little bit discouraging, but I ended up in my typical fashion, just between meetings at work on a Friday. I did a quick search on Search Tempest, which is a Craigslist aggregator, and it's displayed a result 3 lines down on a 1992 Integra for auction in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I gave it a click and checked it out, and now notice right off the bat it was a Torino red 1992 Integra sedan, 5-speed, very low miles, 116,000, and it checked all the boxes, but the only thing that made it too good to be true was it was 12 hours away, and it was going up for auction the following morning at 10:30 in the morning, and you have to be present to bid. That's what I found out in calling the auction facility. It was a charity donated car, and the representative on the phone said, we can't take any kind of offers on the phone, you have to be present to bid. So in my absolute craziness, I went back to the drawing board and thought, how can I get to San Fran by tomorrow morning to bid on this car? And I had to attend a birthday party that night, so I did. And just decided to give it a whirl and drive there. So I left Phoenix at 9 p.m. on Friday night, drove entirely through the night for 12 hours, and took a couple small breaks. And I was in San Francisco, California, 800 miles later for breakfast the following morning at 7 a.m. And the auction place didn't even open until about 8:30. So I was mildly delirious, but I made it in time and was super excited. So anyway, I got a chance to look at the car for the first time, and definitely it showed better in pictures than in person. I noticed a few things that were going to need to be taken care of, but the car started up perfectly, ran through the gears in terms of the best I could sitting in the warehouse, running it through the gears. I noticed the brake pedal had good pressure, the accessories worked, everything seemed okay. So I decided to give it a go, and I went ahead and bid on it. It was very kind of anxious moment because I had 3 other people bidding up against me, and I knew how badly I wanted the car, but it's my first time participating in a live auction. So I basically had my bidder number 37, and I just kept holding that thing up as long as I could until I finally won it, maybe 2.5 minutes into it. But then the reality set in. I've actually got the car, I'm gonna go pay for it, and really at that point I didn't care about logistics. I just knew that I needed that car, and I had the car. So since I had driven my Legend sedan to San Francisco overnight, there was no way I could take the Integra with me, and so I, in my mind, started thinking of options. I ended up getting a hold of a transport carrier that would take it to Phoenix for me for a pretty good rate. So I went ahead and booked with them, and I went on with my weekend, but it was a pretty wild ride. It's the first time since grad night in high school 18 years ago that I've stayed up an entire 24-hour stretch. But I think I was definitely on a bit of cloud 9, if you will, just in terms of my excitement and the anticipation of finally getting this car that I really wanted. It's about 12:30 in the morning. I just fueled up in Palm Desert, California, the Chevron here, for about $3.40 a gallon on premium. Gonna hit the road and continue on to the San Francisco Bay Area for a little adventure. Let's go. It is 2:05. This will not focus. 2:05 in the morning. Working my way westbound on Interstate 210 toward Pasadena. The insanity is very real. I'm in Buttonwillow, California. Just fueled up the car. 248 miles since my last stop. It's 4 in the morning my time, 3 o'clock California time. Getting a little crazy. So somehow that was 27.8 miles per gallon. I have to thank that probably to the fact that I've kept, I got my door shut, I've kept speeds pretty conservative, and there was a good downhill stretch coming from Santa Clarita down through this area called the Grapevine. It's a pretty famous stretch of Interstate 5. I'm gonna go ahead and get back on that interstate now and head north. I'm running on plenty of time, so kind of just enjoying the drive. Got my music going. Talk to you soon. There's 157,000 rolled over on Interstate 5. But does anybody remember this song? This is how I'm staying awake right now. Starting to see some daylight here, kind of nice. 6:21 local time. I am just rolled through San Jose, so I'm only about 20 miles from my exit. Okay, it is now 8:21. I'm here. I went and got an omelet at a place around the block. This place doesn't open even to preview the cars till 9, so I'm waiting for a little bit. Parking kind of sucks. Didn't want to be on the road, so I'm right front and center. Let's see how it goes. Here we are, Auction City. Okay, I found the car. It's got 116,562 on it. Smells good. That's a start. Windshield looks new. Let's see if we got any books. We do have a manual. Do we have an owner's name? No. We got AC. Seats look good. Started up on the first crank. Battery sounded like it was a little bit tired. Clutch feels pretty good. AC appears to be working. Yeah, it's blowing nice. We got the moonroof delete here. This side's definitely got some wear and tear. Needs some dent removal for sure. This is the incorrect exhaust for sure. I noticed it's also missing rear mud flaps, but it has the front ones. Motor looks good in here. Original radiator support. Oh, that's the money shot right there. The timing belt was done at 111, but 6 years ago. They are not getting that thing. She's mine. This is crazy, but I'm kind of excited to try and buy that car back there. Let's see how it goes. Another, two other Integras in here. One white one over there, and then this GSR, 177,000 miles. Pretty rough though.
$26, one more time. He's good. 26 and a half. Like I said, you get a car. 27 cars.
Something about what?
37, 38, 38.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just got that car.
3,800, what happened? 3,800. Started at 700.
I am still shaking. It was intense in there. I had 3 people up against me in the bidding, and it climbed in $100 increments. I wish I had it on video, but wound up at 27, and I couldn't be happier. They tack on a bunch of stupid fees and stuff for California registration, which I clearly don't need since it's going out of state, but we'll iron out those details later. Oh, we got a reverse light out. Got the keys. It was worth it. This car will get picked up Monday or Tuesday and head to Phoenix early the next week. Okay, here's a first drive, 116562 on the odometer. I'm not driving the car home, I'm just gonna take it down the street because I just bought it, so I might as well enjoy it for a minute, right? One thing about the LS versus GS that I like is it does not have anti-lock brakes. So unlike in my GSR, I'll never see a blaring orange indicator that I can't fix. The GSR ABS pump is discontinued, so ooh, this thing is nice. Rock solid. Clutch feels good. The gear ratios are different just slightly from my GSR. I read that in the brochure this morning. So I am a pretty happy camper right now, despite the fact that my eyes are bloodshot. I have not slept all night, and I now have to drive 6 more hours to LA again, and then back to Phoenix tomorrow. But was it worth it? Yeah, I like this car. All right, catch you later. It's been raining most of my way home today. I'm already back in Buttonwillow, California, off Interstate 5, so only maybe 2.5 hours to LA. It kind of feels like I've seen this road before, and that's because I have. It was early this morning, but anyway, I'll get there eventually. You know you're back in LA when it's stop traffic on the 405 freeway at 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday. Get real, people. It is bright and early on a Sunday morning, and we're at South Bay Cars and Coffee. There's my friend Rob's Legend Sedan, and here's mine. But I just picked up a friend who flew in from Japan, who I've known for a few years online, but it's my first time meeting him in person. We're looking at this Legend brochure here. This is obviously written in Japanese, but I'm learning about some features that I didn't know about. And here's my friend from Japan. Say hello. Hello. And we're just here enjoying a rainy day morning. We're gonna do Cars and Coffee, the Legend.
I've been on one in Yahoo Auctions also. Oh, there's a template. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, man. Awesome. Thank you. So cool.
Jay made it. There he is. It is a rainy Sunday in Torrance, or Carson, or Gardena, or whatever city we're in. We're getting rained out here at Cars and Coffee, but Raul and Rob are here. Got 3 Legend sedans representing. First time, go ahead, having my friend drive my Legend GS. He's from Japan, but he has the same car. All right, back on the road. It's in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, California. It's cleared up, very nice weather. And gonna do the last 4.5 miles now of the drive. 4.5 hours, I mean, not miles.